Oh man, oh man, oh man. You know, at some points, I think to myself that no matter how bad things are getting, no matter how bad things may seem, everything hits a cap-off point. Everything hits a limit. And from that point on, things settle down. They come back and recede to some normalcy. But man, last night, I sure was proven wrong that there is no limit possible on the amount of saltiness that you can see on this here interwebs from a console being announced. All you had to do was take your ass to Twitter to see how salty some of these guys really are. And this is, of course, in regards to the PlayStation 4 announcement. What's up, guys? NGS back again for another video. Right now, I'm just... I really don't know what to say at this point. I want to laugh. I want to cry. I want to scold some people. But at the same time, I wonder if it's all worth it in the end. Well, the laughing part, true, yeah. I get a good laugh out of that sort of thing. It's funny that you have all of these people who say that they want to stop the drama, they want to get this community back to what it was for, sharing and promoting gaming. And these are the very same people who have their channels dedicated to nothing but drama, who don't upload gameplay videos at all. All they're doing is responses and attacks to people on the internet, and yet they want gaming to go back to what it was for. For all the people out there who are arguing right now over the PS4 and the Wii U, can we just please for 24 hours shut the F up and go back to playing video games? For 24 hours. Can we actually do what we say we're going to do? Can we actually go and complete some of these games that we like to over talk about? Is that even a word? It's funny. People like to say, yeah, we got all these great games coming out for the system. It's awesome. It's totally amazing. Yet these bitches don't even play the game for more than 30 minutes. They're spending more time on the internet attacking people. I'm like, what? I mean, me, for example, I ain't no saint. I don't finish all my games. Look at all the games I got across all these damn systems. I don't finish that. I am no saint whatsoever. But I'm not going to go on this here interwebs and hype this system up. Yeah, I don't even play the damn games to begin with. You know what I'm saying? Fast forward a couple hours later, the sun has set, I'm in the middle of eating dinner, but we gotta finish this video, folks. So, what I'm going to discuss today are all of the announcements that people have been making in regards to the Wii U. As Uber Hikari would say, no frills, just the analyses on rest in peace, Nintendo. The Wii U is dead. You just spent $300 on a tablet controller paperweight. It's the Wii all over again. Yeah, this is going to be fun. So let's start out with possibly the most the most common statement, and that's in regards to the graphical capabilities of both systems. Now, this is not going to be a video discussing the specs, the clock speeds, how much RAM is in each system, all that junk. All that techno jumbo mumbo jumbo, I apologize, because you guys can look at that. But on paper, when you look at the specs, it looks so far, as of this recording, the PS4 definitely outshines the Wii U. However, something I think everybody seems to forget, and it's kind of redundant at this point, when have graphics been the sole reason for determining if a system is going to be amazing or not? Really, when have they? And that's all I'm really going to say on that matter. However, there's this notion going around that it's going to be like the Wii all over again for the Wii U. It's not going to get the multiplats, it's going to lose all the support, the system is going to fall behind, and only Nintendo is going to make the pretty looking games. Now, there is some validity behind that when you compare the specs. However, let's take a look at the 6th generation of gaming to the 7th generation of gaming, and the 7th generation of gaming to now the 8th generation of gaming. If you look at the PS2 to the PlayStation 3, you can obviously tell that there was a pretty significant leap in terms of visuals. You take the high-end PS2 title, the best-looking game on the system, and you compare it to a medium-range PS3 title, you could definitely tell there are differences. You could definitely tell the PS3 is superior. Now, for the 7th to the 8th generation, I really don't think it's going to be that big of a leap. And I remember clarifying this almost 2 years ago. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't come on here and saying, Neil, are you fucking brain dead? You need new glasses if you're going to say that those gameplay demos look like they could be run on PS3. Don't get me wrong. There is a leap in terms of visuals. However, it's not going to be as big as people are expecting. It's going to be noticeable. It's going to be significant, but not... We're going to be able to see a lot more things done. And I think that what they should focus on this generation, not necessarily in terms of wowing you with visuals, but focusing on game stability. Focusing on all the little things in the background that you don't see at first with your naked eye, but the things you appreciate the more time you invest in the game. Seeing as how the PlayStation 4 is going to have 8 gigabytes worth of RAM, think about all the possibilities that can go on with that. You know what I'm saying? Extra memory is never a bad thing for the system. And that's something I'm definitely looking forward to. I think we're going to be able to see a lot more expansive games just because of the memory in the system. And I don't think that the Wii U is going to be as left behind in the dust as people think it is going to be. While there is some validity, like I said, it's not that big of a gap in terms of visual outputs as it was with the Wii and the PS3. The Wii was a non-HD system. It outputted in 480p. PlayStation 3 could output in 1080p. Not all the games ran in 1080p, but you get the difference. Non-HD, HD. SD, high definition. This time around, you look at the game demos that Nintendo revealed back at their E3. There was the Bird one and there was the Zelda one. That should give you a pretty good glimpse of the visual prowess that the system offers. It has some meat behind it. So I think multi-platform games are going to do just fine. Now, are we going to actually see just okay multi-platform games? Are we going to see equal levels across all the systems? Who's to say what's going to happen? It all depends on the developers and what they do with the systems. However, me, myself, and I don't think the gap is going to be as big as people are thinking. Like it's going to go from PS4 to PlayStation 2. You get what I'm saying? But now let's touch a bit on, since I mentioned the developer side of things, and this pertains to the PlayStation 4 launch itself. Now this is one thing I really got to give it up for Sony. Sony timed this announcement at, I don't think, a better moment, because we are on the heels of the 8th generation. We just released the first system, and you see, while that's all good, people are excited, the excitement for the Wii U pretty much dropped dead after the first 2 months of it. The system came out, it had its hurrah. Christmas time, it had second hurrah, but after that, it's just nothing. And the reason why the Wii U is not really keeping interest in the mainstream media is because there is little to no quality software for it. And this is a situation where I have to fault Nintendo on it. Because with Nintendo having so many things against them this time around, you had the bias from people saying it's going to be an underpowered system again, no games, just like the Wii. Instead of proving all those people wrong and showing that they could have a stronger than average launch lineup, they completely falter on it. And even in this situation where the big multi-platform games that they were advertising coming to Wii U with bonus features, definitive versions, they run better, no better actually, they run no better than the games on 70-year-old tech on the competition. Now you can attribute this to the developers not knowing the system, the developers being rushed, but I still think we should give Nintendo some of the flack because you couldn't have gone the extra mile and worked with them? Really? But I think as far as support is concerned, Nintendo did falter for the first 6 months of the system. Things aren't looking up. What do we have? Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. Monster Hunter is a great franchise. It's going to move some units in Japan, I'll tell you that. But at the end of the day, it's an enhanced port of a Wii title. You have Lego City Undercover, one new IP. And you have Need for Speed Most Wanted, another port. That's all Wii U owners really have to play for the first 6 months of the system, and that is not very good at all. Do we know games are coming? Yes. Is the Wii U going to get games? Yes. Anyone who saw the last couple of Nintendo Direct streams knows the Wii U's got some support. Wind Waker HD, Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem, a new Zelda entry, the Smash Brothers game. It's got tons of games. However, those games are a bit far off. Nintendo should have paced themselves, maybe secured some of the bigger multi-plat games this year, because we have a lot of big multi-plat games in like the first quarter of the year. But no, that didn't happen, and Nintendo has to suffer for it. And before anyone accuses me of hating on Nintendo, I'm not hating on Nintendo. I hold Nintendo to a very high regard. I want them to do well. They are the ones who are stepping all over themselves. They said that it wasn't going to be another 3DS launch all over again, and lo and behold, it's actually worse than the 3DS launch. We have like little to no games coming out. And for the final time, I'm going to say this, guys. I don't think the Wii U is dead. I think Nintendo is a smart enough company that they're going to know what's going on in the industry, and they're not just going to sit back and say, gee, they just announced a new console. Let's keep doing what we were doing for the past couple of months and see what happens. No, Nintendo's not that foolish. They know what Sony has to offer, and Nintendo should go above and beyond and offer you a better product. And in the end, we the gamers win, we the consumers, because while these companies are fighting each other to make the best possible quality product, in the end, we just reap the benefits because we can spend our money where we choose. At the end of the day, we benefit. Why are you guys worrying so much about all of the corporate mumbo-jumbo? You know what I'm saying? And who's to say what will happen with Nintendo's double-edged sword mentality, where they don't care what the competition is doing, they don't care what Sony comes out with, they don't care what Microsoft comes out with, they just walk their own path. Will that really be enough this generation? Will gamers really be attuned to that? Nintendo's already saying that they want to attract the core gamer, they want to attract the modern gamer, the things that they like, but that would require Nintendo to modernize things and become like the competition. You know what, we'll just see what happens in the end for Nintendo. Hopefully it all plans out accordingly. So this year's E3 is definitely going to be one to look out. We're going to see the PlayStation 4 console. We're going to see the price tag. Maybe a look at some of the more software from the 149 developers. Sony announced they're working on it. The Wii U, we're definitely going to see a lot more support from Nintendo, first party and third party, hopefully. And the next Xbox, well, we're going to have to see what Microsoft has to offer. Kinect 2.0, Kinect Sports Volume 4. We'll see what happens. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Post your comments, video responses, and all things the Wii U and the PlayStation 4. Does anybody else want a Tales of game on the Wii U or the PlayStation 4? Y'all already know my answer to that. You guys get... What the hell does it get? I mentioned Tales on the next-gen system, and I'm like already foaming at the mouth. Anyway, I'm NGS signing out, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace!